Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast episode 610. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy, Corey Feinsod,
Ahoy.
and Tony Kokonakis.
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Welcome, listeners, welcome, viewers, to the Gamecast 610. We are live streaming on Twitch starting 8 o'clock Tuesday nights. Please join us. We'd love to chat, have some fun, ask some questions. We're also following the next day. We're on YouTube, so you can always tune in if you missed these episodes on YouTube. Actually, we have a backlog on there, so you can go back and see all the old episodes. They only keep like a week now on Twitch because they changed their policies. I think it's a week now. It may still be 2 weeks, but it's changing. It will be only 1 week soon. So you'll get to watch the videos on Twitch pretty much day of, and then go over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel there, and check us out on that. Also, audio podcasts, Spotify, and on iTunes. You can check us out there. But welcome to the Gamecast. What have we been playing, guys? We didn't do box office. I just realized that. Whoops.
Yeah. Neither did the box office, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. Mike, what have you been playing?
I've actually been playing the WWE 2K22 again, just because I found a glitch where I can bypass the game's insistence that you can't wear capes or long coats in ring, only for entrances, but you can bypass it away. So I've done that, and now I'm going down a rabbit hole of just downloading and tweaking millions of created wrestlers to have like just all sorts of superheroes, Ninja Turtles, James Bond, all sorts of nonsense, and I can't stop, and it takes forever. And I feel like I'm not even gonna play with them. I'm just sort of tweaking them to get them right. Like, that's most of what I'm doing. I haven't done something like
dress
this.
Up, man. That's what
in a
You're
while.
basically
Yeah,
playing with Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And then I have to do their movesets. I have to do their entrances, choose the right music, all that stuff.
Man, this is
So
like
the
D&D
goal-
adjacent right here, man.
It is.
So the goal mostly is to get like my brother or someone else to come over and play the game and then be impressed by it. That's the only end goal for this. Like, oh sweet, you have all these guys. Oh, you took the time to do that. It's like, yes, I did. But the gameplay itself is just So
Yeah.
I'm not like super excited to play with them. I have a little bit here or there, but
Make a TikTok.
It's just kind of funny.
Make a TikTok, dude.
Yeah.
Just
Upload
upload
it
it.
on our YouTube.
Upload it. Yeah, sure, do that. Content is content. No, it's funny. I remember doing that back in the day with
I used to do that a lot
Smash
more.
Brothers, the Mii characters. Like you could
Oh,
you could customize the Mii and be like, well, they're sword fighter. I could make whoever as a sword fighter. I could make this character as a gunfighter Mii.
I went
So what
down
I'm
a
doing-
rabbit hole a little bit too with
Yeah.
which we'll talk about like later. But Street Fighter, because the new one, I've been obsessed with getting as much news on Street Fighter 6 as possible because it looks so good.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was like, oh, I gotta catch up on what happened in Street Fighter 5. So I was like, gone down a rabbit hole of Street Fighter 5 stuff. Like, what happened to these characters? What's going on here? Because I was like, is it gonna even matter? Like, but then Street Fighter 6 is taking place after Street Fighter 3, which took place after Street Fighter 4 and 5. So it's like all these timelines are just so weird. But Street Fighter 6 looks awesome, and we're gonna talk about more Street Fighter hopefully later when Jim gets back. But you were saying, Mike?
Oh no, I mean the difference between when I did this, back on the GameCube version where there was Matrix characters and that a lot because that's what was happening at the time.
Oh, of course.
But
I get Neo in there.
yeah, Neo and Agent Smith were in the ones back, and then I don't have them this time because I am saving a little time by mostly downloading what people have done that I choose, but then I tweak them because I disagree with certain things or things aren't done completely. But yeah, so I have quite a roster of non-wrestler wrestlers or superstars because they're not called wrestlers until recently again. But yeah, so it's fun. I hope to get some use from them before I move on to the next game, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Corey.
It's not too much. I wanted to get some more Xenoblade in, but I wasn't able to this week, unfortunately.
Life happens, man. It's been a crazy week. This is my busy season. I got 2 weeks of this hell.
Crazy.
2 weeks of this
School
hell.
starts, like, the boys start school on Thursday, which
Yeah.
is like 2 days from when we record here. And it's like so much you got to do beforehand. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's like, where did the time go?
No, I know. It's
Yeah.
you try to prep as much as you can for this, and then it's like my email is just, I mean, it's full. So yeah. Anyways, Tony,
we
what are you
play
been playing?
some more golf with Tony.
Yeah, we
Mario
played some
Golf?
Mario Golf, and Corey kicked
Cool.
our asses. Despite
Really?
playing a fraction of the time that we did. Yeah. So
Cool.
Well, yeah, I was
Awesome.
like, I think I was at, I won one, but
yeah, well, you won, so
yeah,
it's
I
good.
won once at least.
Yeah.
So there's
Uh,
that.
but-
But it was all fun. It's a great game.
Oh,
So
it's a really fun game.
Yeah. I gotta play that actually because I have that now, so I
You
might
do
as well
have that.
hop on. Yes, I do have that, and Switch Online, so I could hop on and play.
do online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. But for me, Xenoblade, I managed to beat the third one over the weekend. So that was really good. It was a very epic journey and conclusion to the trilogy, I guess.
Got mine here.
Yeah, can't
but
open it.
it's not
Yeah,
open yet,
unopened,
'cause-
unopened. Yeah.
Yep. Gotta save it.
But yeah, no, it got swallowed to me. It was it hit harder than I thought actually. Some of the topics the game goes into, the themes and stuff like that. It's a gut wrencher. And honestly, it had some of my favorite moments across the series. So viewing it pretty highly.
Nice.
It's probably up.
excited.
It's probably up there now for game of the year for me personally, just because it hit a lot of the notes I wanted. Not all, but a lot of the notes I wanted to. And it was one of those things where it was like hard to put down, and especially because Twitter kind of like went off on the game in a good way, where it was like, I think now the Xenoblade series is like taken off where it's like, a solid, B, low A tier franchise for him and stuff like that in terms of just name recognition and stuff like that. So it's really good. I'm looking forward to the DLC. They did a perfect thing. Well, I guess perfect thing for me, where they left enough strings still open where they can explore that with the DLC, because they're going to support it for, I think, a year or so, with like
Good.
different
Always
things. So hoping we get something meaty like we did last time with the Torno, the Golden Country there, where it was basically a whole like prequel RPG. Some 30 hours. or something
Standalone
like that.
game,
Yeah,
essentially,
standalone game. Yeah. So looking forward to that. But it's one of those things that immediately after I just started a new game plus, because one of the things they allow you to do is they're like, okay, well, you can start the game off, maintain all your levels, your items, your powers, and stuff like that, and just you can have basically a victory lap. So now
That's cool.
just going through it, and I'm just like, oh, I remember you. You took me 10 minutes to kill last time, and now I'm just like, you're done in one combo. Just get the fuck out of my face, kind of thing. And they incentivize you to do that. There's some unlockables that are pretty rewarding for longtime fans and stuff like that. But other than that, I did also get to try the Splatoon 3 Splatfire demo, which
Nice.
was kind of weird because they only ran it for one day, and I guess I get it, but
Yeah.
I wish they had ran it the whole week, because I had people over, including Corey, on Saturday, and it was one of those things damn, I really want to play the Splatfire demo, but it's only one player, so it wouldn't really be that fun to just have other people watching or something like that. But it was fun. Represented Team Rock, and they won, so pretty happy.
Nice.
Patted myself on the shoulder for that one. The theme for this one was rock, paper, or scissors, from Rock, Paper, Scissors, obviously, and stuff like that. So I chose to represent rock. Yeah, it's fun. It's more Splatoon. They tweaked it up a little bit. They added new movesets, new weapons, stuff like that. Everything you would want out of a shooter type game. So
Nice.
probably will pick it up in next 2 weeks.
I was gonna
when it
ask you
releases.
with Xenoblade 3, and you played all 3 of them now. What would you say had the best characters?
Oh man. So individually, if we're just talking characters, I'd probably say 2. 2 is has the best lot of the characters in terms of I like this character a lot and I like this character a lot. But if we're talking party interaction, 3 just blows everybody else out of the water. I love doing so much of the side content in this game just because you get to see all the characters interact. It's one of the few RPGs where it's not just I think I cited before, but in Persona 5 where it's after the character introductions where they talk to everybody, then it's just, hey Joker, you want to hang out? And it's don't you want to hang out with any of our other friends? Can we invite them along? You want to go to the amusement park, but it's just me and you. We're not going to call the whole crew up. It's very unreal.
They're trying to get that D.
Yeah, they're trying to get the D. You are correct about that. But yeah, that's about it. Just want to do a quick shout out because I'm doing the OBS for the stream. Want to do a shout out to Brokish, who's in our chat. saying what's up, first time viewer, first time commenter. And he wanted to ask us our thoughts on emulation. And on that one, I would say my personal one is for things that aren't readily available. Absolutely, I think it's a good thing where there are games that are basically lost to time, and if they're not being released and stuff like that, go ahead, do it. Don't distribute it. Don't try to sell it for a profit because that's illegal. And therefore you're just stealing somebody else's work. But I think emulation is very important for preservation games.
Like that's it. I mean, there's look at the catalog like Saturn, for instance. I mean, who has a working Saturn anymore?
Nobody.
But like,
nobody.
So there's games that should have been played and experienced, and like there's games we own. Like I literally have like Dragon Force, and I can't play it, so I can have an emulator for that and play that game. I own that thing. I mean, that's still mine anyways. I should be able to play that game whenever. But unfortunately, the Saturn doesn't run anymore.
According to the license agreement.
I own the game. I should be able to play it.
I'm not
saying
anything. According to these agreements.
Yeah. Well.
No, I mean I agree. I think emulation is absolutely fine as long as, like you said, you're not distributing, you're not making a profit off of it, and you're not like if you want. Again, I've talked this before. If you like something, you love something, you need to support it. Otherwise, it's going away. It's not going to be a thing anymore. If nobody helps these people that are creative people make the things that you enjoy, they're not going to be able to do it. They need to survive and live their life as well.
Yeah, that's
and to do that, you have to have a job. And so, like, absolutely do not, like, you don't want to take away something from someone who's doing that. But at the same time, like you're saying, there are things that you cannot literally play any longer, or is it impossible, or it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to play because of the rarity of it, or perhaps the fact that the physical hardware is no longer capable of doing it anymore. And like I mentioned before, I have my Steam Deck here. It is an emulation monster. This thing is amazing for emulation, and I can play some, like, all my Saturn games I have. I can do it. I can play them on there. You can get, if you really want to go dive into it even deeper, you can get like all the way back to Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, or just Nintendo. You can go to Genesis. You can go all the way up to even games like today that we have. We use stuff that's like hard to find. So yeah, if you can find these games and support them, creators, absolutely do it. But sometimes you just can't do it. You have to find other ways to get around that. And yeah, and then if you can, the popularity can come from that, where that could help these creators sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And ironically, because I just talked about Xenoblade. I mean, the first game, and I talked about it a couple times over the years on the podcast. That first game was almost not going to come out in North America. Nintendo's like, nah, fuck it. You guys don't deserve it in North America. You just play that Wii Sports shit. You guys don't care about anything else. And it literally took a campaign of people who played on modded Wiis to get that game to come out over here. And now look at it. We're 3 games later, a bunch of expensive figures later, DLC later. I'm sure that it's just going to be a matter of time until there's a movie or an anime or something, because Nintendo's dipping into that. Multiple characters in Smash Bros. So I mean, from rags to riches, and stuff like that. I guess where I personally draw the line, it's like if you're using emulation as like a thing to be like, hey, this new game that just came out today, yeah, I'm just gonna pirate that and play it and emulate it. It's like, are you doing that really for preservation purposes, or are you doing that because you're cheap? And whatever, everybody has unique situations. I'm not gonna judge, but if you're doing that, that is way worse than just being like, hey, Fire Emblem on GameCube is like a $200-something pre-owned game. Plus you have to have a working GameCube and stuff like that. And Nintendo's not even releasing that. So it's like, if you're doing that, more power to you and stuff like that. As long as you're not, again, selling it, distributing it, whatever. Just play it for your own enjoyment.
Yep.
There you go. Thanks for the question, Burkish.
Thank you for the question. Absolutely. We done with what we've been up to, right? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's go into some news here. Street Fighter's 35th anniversary today.
Yes.
Isn't it? So they released
when you were absent for a moment, because I was saying I went down a rabbit hole of Street Fighter 6 and trying to learn more about what happened, because being Street Fighter 5 being only on PlayStation really like dropped that.
It hurt. It was the biggest mistake, because the game plays fine, and maybe the fight money thing, but like I think if they had
it got to a point much better point too, because it came out so like gimped. I don't know what else to say. It's like it didn't have.
It was the word of mouth was so bad. It was toxic.
Like,
it was toxic.
So like this, single player mode, and like you can attest like with Injustice, Mike. Like those games were full feature games.
Mhm.
But when Street Fighter 5 came out, it felt like it just like
It was bare
wasn't
bones.
a full game. It was
No.
nothing. But now it's to a point where it's much better, and you know, Super Street Fighter Championship Edition, whatever, or Ultra Super Street Fighter, whatever it was. But yeah, Street Fighter, 35 years. Like, I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I remember playing it in like the pizza parlors. It's a little stand-up cabinet.
Pizza
next to
Hut,
the
Pizza Hut's a local one.
Yeah,
mean, my-
Street
Pretty
Fighter
much
is
where I
great.
played it exclusively was at the Pizza Hut that was around here, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
30
remember
years
there
ago.
was
There was
a
that.
Street
There's a
Fighter
bowling alley
1
for me,
cabinet that like was at like a diner that I used to live
Really?
by. And I used to
I
play
don't
that.
remember
And I was like, yeah, this is dumb. But Street Fighter 2, man, going from 1 to 2 is just like ridiculous.
Oh, what like
Wow.
it was?
It's a
I never
different game.
I never played 1 for the longest time, and when I did, I was like, oh god, like I can't believe it's even
Yeah.
got a sequel.
One's not really like, is that even like a fighting game? It's
Yeah, I mean,
almost.
it's a
It
fighting
is.
game.
It is.
But it's
I
only
mean,
one
back
character,
then,
basically.
It's almost like that karate game on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, but it's amazing. It's 35 years, and I just think about the history of that game. I mean, for me, I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. That's my that's my jam. And like, as playing a kid at the bowling alley, playing Street Fighter 2, the original arcade cabinet, to the Super Nintendo with Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo
I
Edition.
remember when they like changed it, like kept like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is new, like
Yeah.
new characters and.
I was like, this was awesome to add more characters onto that. I remember that sitting right next. Weirdly enough, that sat right next to the Tekken machine. If you remember right, Corey, we used to have Tekken and Street Fighter 2 right next to each other in the arcade. But like Street Fighter was the way the control, the combat flows for me just clicks really well. I guess I just know it. And Street Fighter 4, just that I remember
brought
that
fighting
return.
games back.
Oh, that return was so sweet. I really hope they recapture that with 6. Like
It feels like it feels like they're getting to that because like I
I'm ready for
remember being at Katsucon 06 or 07 or whatever around that time, and we stopped by the arcade area of the convention, and they just had it on the biggest the wide screens, and there were just people crowded over. And we're like, holy crap! Like what? Like that is crazy to see, and it just
I bought a fight stick, a special controller for it.
Exactly.
I was like, when you never do that anymore. But I was like that hooked on the game. I bought the Chun-Li special edition controller because I wanted that.
Yeah.
The better
I mean,
D-pad.
6 looks amazing. Like I'm so excited for 6, and it seems like they're gonna try to do like a more broad,
robust.
Like, they're like it's interesting because they're gonna have like an expert mode or classic mode they call it, and modern. So you're gonna have classic and modern modes, and the modern mode is essentially just to be more like nice to people who can't do the movements and just want to have quick button motions, and so you're gonna have a lot easier access to fireballs and uppercuts and stuff like that, but you're not gonna have as much options because a lot of that stuff is tied to like the movement's not there anymore, so you're not gonna have as many options of doing combinations and things. So if you're in classic mode, you're gonna have more of those options and be able to do a lot more combos and things. So it's very interesting to approach because you're gonna have 2 control sets there, and you'll see what control set people have picked in the title in their names and stuff. So I'm very excited to see what they're doing there, and all the characters. We saw the leaks, we talked about them before, but all the new characters look really cool. Like the art in this, the character designs.
Yeah, every character has their own. Like Street Fighter tradition, like their own music. What I think is cool is like every character has like unique interactions with the other characters in terms of taunts. Like a new character, like when you're fighting Ryu as I think his name's Luke, who's the last DLC character for 5. When you taunt with him against Ryu, he just goes Hadouken, like mocks Ryu's like whole style, which I think is just really funny and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean Street Fighter 6 is so awesome. But I mean just overall for the anniversary, like it's hard for me to think of another series that has persisted this long and still managed to like just be in the forefront of like popularity and just gaming icons. I mean, who
It's
doesn't
an
know
iconic
like
gaming.
who
Yeah,
who
it's
doesn't
an
know
iconic-
like
that's what it is.
Ryu and Guile and Chun-Li and stuff like that. I mean that's just so cool. Like Hadouken, Dragon Punch. Like people that might not know Shoryuken, but they know Dragon Punch. Like that is an iconic move.
Usually, you ask somebody, even like non-gamers, to just name a fighting game in the video game world. It could be either Mortal Kombat or it's Street Fighter. It's one of those.
It's one of
two.
those two.
You're gonna get both.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's really cool. And they set up a website real quick. Capcom did for the anniversary, and what they're doing is they're having little snippets from people that either worked on the game, voice acted the game, are industry professionals, and they're just talking about their history with the series and stuff like that. And then, Jim, I'm not sure if you saw this one. I thought this was cool, and I posted it in the general chat. But
The voice actor.
yeah,
Dial.
yeah. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I
mention
see
it. So Hiroki Yasumoto said in his self-introduction, "I first experienced Street Fighter II at an arcade when I was in junior high school and was soon swept up in that era of gaming. Later, I learned that the arcade that I frequented was used as a model for the one that appears in the manga titled High Score Girl, which I talked about like a year or two ago. And me being the voice actor for Guile, who also makes an appearance in the manga and anime, I can't help but feel like there's some strange twist of fate at work, which is like just kind of like bonkers to me that like that happened and stuff like that. So I just thought that was a really cool, thing. But yeah, Street Fighter. Here's to another 35 years, maybe. We'll see.
I mean, am I the only one that would love? Like, is anybody really? I'm the only one that wants another Alpha game. I would love to have another Alpha series.
I mean, I would love Alpha, but like I think I have to put all their eggs in
I
just
know
one
why.
Street
I
Fighter
get why
title.
it doesn't happen, but
Like,
I would just
does
love
that-
it again.
What does that mean?
The Alpha series.
Yeah.
It's a different game. Like there's more like counters and supers the way you play the game. It's
Alpha.
It's
Alpha is a bit more like the Versus or X-Men or the Marvel games where like like it's more into like the super meters. I mean, newer Street Fighter games have that kind of stuff, but the Alpha series like took place and it was more like I don't know. I want to say like anime-esque.
That was that was part of what always confused me about Street Fighter, because as a kid, obviously Street Fighter 2 was the first thing I heard of, and I only really just played it in an arcade or a Pizza Hut when it was there. I never had it at home. But then I started seeing that like there was a million re-releases with different like words, like Turbo, like Tournament Edition, like whatever. Street Fighter 2 lasted forever, and so I never really knew what any of that was.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like Capcom was the masters of DLC before DLC even existed, because like I mean Street Fighter 2 had like I want to say at least 4 to 5 arcade variations. Tons of more home editions, but then after Street Fighter 2, when they split off and they made Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter 3 concurrently at the same time. So in the arcade you'd be like Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter 3, and you'd be like, okay, and they'd have mostly different character lineups. And then you see Street Fighter Alpha 2, and then Street Fighter 3 Second Impact. You're like, what the fuck? And then Street Fighter Alpha 3, and then Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It's like each of those games plays completely different, so it's just like it was a lot to keep track of and stuff like that.
We're finally getting past Street Fighter 3's timeline in
yes,
Street Fighter 6.
Because that was the last of the timeline. The thing I personally want to see is I want to see Street Fighter expand their universe. So they have that Rival Schools series, which kind of died out after the 2 games. But they also have Darkstalkers, which doesn't seem like they're doing anything. And they're all in the same universe, so just fucking throw them in there.
Yeah, they did have the that collection, the fighting game collection that came out recently. So who knows?
And I mean, in Street Fighter 5, some of those Rival Schools characters are in the backgrounds of a lot of the levels and stuff like that. So just put it.
Well, I mean, didn't Sakura show up in one of the Rival Schools?
Well, yeah, it's funny because they actually put Sakura in Rival Schools to like as like a failsafe, be like, let's just try to draw the Street Fighter crowd like what we can with them, and just introduce Sakura in the series and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yep.
All right. Let's see other news. Last week we had not last week. It was a little earlier this week. No, it was a name leak for a new tier for Game Pass, the Friends and Family plan. So looks like we're gonna be getting something cool. Like I'm thinking this sounds more like the Switch Online family thing, or the Friends and Family. So you'll have a higher pricing tier, but you can split it with like 4 friends, 5 friends, whatever that number would be.
Yeah.
So I'm absolute no-brainer to split with you guys. So I think we've got our Friends and Family right here. So what you're getting good value already from Game Pass, and I think that is such a great idea. I shocked it took them this long, because Nintendo has done that really well with the Switch Online. I barely use Switch Online, but I've gotten my value out of it because I've renewed with you a few years in a row now, and I've played the classic games and maybe a couple games online. That's about it. but
but I mean,
enough
for
value out of the
$8 a
money.
year.
It's giving you a lot
Yeah.
more value though than Switch Online.
I know, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's the
I'm just
price.
saying
It's the price difference. I mean, for $8 versus I don't even know what.
Right.
This is gonna
$60 now, I would imagine, for
Yeah.
the year, or
Something
whatever,
like that.
$10 a month or something.
Right. And I will say, so I didn't mention it, but I did play a couple classic games because I was hanging out with my brother, and he just likes to watch me play some games and stuff like that. So I was playing Super Ghouls and Ghosts and stuff like that. So loading up the Switch app, he's like, damn, there's a lot of games on there, and I counted, it was like about 50 or so. So their catalog has really expanded, and their Genesis stuff is actually really awesome. If you haven't checked it out, I would definitely encourage you to load that up and check it out. And like I said, I was playing a lot of Wave Race. Wave Race, oh god, it still holds up. It still plays very well in 2022, which is crazy to me. Those water physics are just so good still. And excited
that's
to see.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, excited to see what we get in the next couple of weeks because they're, on the year mark, they usually like to introduce a new system, and the rumor is, as I mentioned before, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the final bit of news, and that would be the reported increase for the PS5 system.
Price increase? You mean price drop, right? That's what happened.
Sure.
Right?
Not in North America, but globally, the price will, instead of getting a price reduction like we all expect to hear at some point with systems, it seems like the price will be going up.
Jim, you're telling me that we're close to 2-year anniversary of the PlayStation
Is it
5.
2 or is it 3? It's like, has it been 3? It's almost 3.
No, it's almost
2020. Oh no, this will be 2 years. Sorry, this will be 2 years. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're only in September. Just barely September.
You're telling me that the 2-year mark
Not in September.
for the PlayStation,
yes.
almost. We'll round up. We're
there.
We're 2 months away.
We made it.
We're 2 months away from the 2-year anniversary, and they're increasing the price of the PlayStation 5. There's no way. There's no way Sony's that greedy, right? There's no way. This is fake news. I don't believe you.
I've got some news for you. So apparently reported by their own PlayStation blog, and now as it's confirmed as we've gone, the price for the PS5 will increase in select markets due to global economic environment, including high inflation rates.
Yeah, this is what I thought was just so tone deaf. So this comes from Jim Ryan, the new president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Which I'm not surprised from. Yes, but go on.
The blog post starts out, the global economic environment is a challenge that many of you around the world are no doubt experiencing. We're seeing high global inflation rates as well as adverse currency trends impacting consumers and creating pressures on many industries. And based on those challenging economic conditions, SIE has made the difficult decision to increase the recommended retail price, or RRP, of PlayStation 5 in select markets across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin America, as well as Canada. No price increase for the United States, though. I mean, this to me is like the biggest just insult that in a long time that Sony has done. I think the last time was when they tried to block the cross-platform online play. That was the last biggest issue. This to me is just, you don't give a fuck about your consumers. You don't give a fuck about fans of your franchise and your IP and the system and stuff like that. This is just straight up, fuck you, give us money.
So,
I mean, yes.
Manufacturing costs have gone up.
But,
we know that. We do know that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a problem though in terms of profits for them? Because at the same time, other costs have come down. It's been out for 2 years. You can't tell me it costs the same to make that system now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's my point.
Well, can you? That's the thing. We don't. The thing is, we don't know necessarily. But the way that this reads, you would expect them to be saying, hey, "We're going to help you out," but instead it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
We need to help us out, and that's the problem I have here. But at the same time, I can't say what's going on in their business. Like, are they profitable? I don't know. Like, are they? If they don't do this, is that going to lead down to the road of them not having any systems at all ever again? I don't know. Like, I'm just. It's not.
It's so weird because you have a system that is almost 2 years old that is still like it's not out for real in a lot of cases, and that's, I guess they're kind of trying to view it that way, like, oh, it's just been in beta anyway, so we can. Of course, they're still not doing it in the U.S. So.
Well, so that's what I'd like to.
This has ever happened, right? Is this the first time it's ever happened?
This is the first, to my knowledge, is the first time it's ever happened. That wasn't like some like bundle where you get like an accessory or extra games or something like that. But no, this is complete bullshit. Because, and the thing is, there is a unofficial price increase in the U.S. because I dare you to find just a PlayStation 5 standalone system right now, because you can't. Every single week on that their PlayStation Direct, I log in. I've logged in just to check, all right? Be like, okay, get in this queue. And there's not that long of a queue anymore. And in fact, the one day Wario posted every like few hours, like, you can still get a PlayStation 5 right now, guys. Just click on this link. Yeah. And the only thing they are selling on the direct site, their own direct Sony site, is the Horizon Forbidden West bundle, which is $50 more. And they'll be like, oh, well, you get a $20 saving. So, like, unofficially, yeah, there is a price increase. They're just officially not saying it because they know that they can't give that competitive advantage to Microsoft and Xbox right now.
Yeah. Microsoft has come on record saying they're not raising their prices.
Yep, Nintendo, same thing. So,
Nintendo,
you can't tell me 2 out of 3. And again, I don't know the inner dealings, but we've had confirmation that, last year or whatever, Sony was making a profit.
Been overpriced for years,
right?
Anyway, so.
Right, and Sony has said like last year that they were making a profit off of every PlayStation 5 that they sold.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, obviously inflation, manufacturing, shipping, whatever. So maybe break even or like lose a little bit, but like that's your whole fucking business model, is you're losing money on the systems and you're gaining money on game sales, accessory sales, and service sales now. PlayStation Plus. Because you're not going to fucking make that money if you're not selling the PlayStation so people can subscribe to it.
Buy Bungie here. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Right, exactly. They're spending fucking billions of dollars to acquire Bungie. They acquired somebody else. I didn't even post it because it was some like
they got to make up that money
shit.
somewhere. They got to make it back, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like the thing is, it's not insignificant. So like, let's see. In Japan, it went up 20%. 20%.
I can see that. Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah.
Imagine, like, hey, PlayStation 5 that I've been eyeing up. Haven't been able to buy for 18 months. It was going to be $500, but now all of a sudden it's $600. What the fuck? The problem
with that is, like you said,
like what the fuck?
You couldn't go if you wanted the system at the
even get it.
The system,
yeah.
You still couldn't get it,
yeah.
And now you're forced to pay more if you want it still. That's
how it's been anyway. Since they were all scalped anyway, you had to pay at least 20% more to get it.
The scalping's gone down now. Like,
I know now it's gone.
Said, though, you can just sign in and grab them, but you still got to pay Sony the extra, $50.
Yeah, it's just stupid. It's disappointing, and honestly, this is just the new Sony. Like I've always had, I've always owned a Sony system, and stuff like that. But some things I never agreed with, like the Vita proprietary memory and stuff like that. The online cross online play was, I think, the biggest bullshit ever. And especially when Epic and Fortnite was like, we flipped the switch. Oops, we're sorry, guys. Like, it's just that easy, When Sony's like, oh, we want to protect our walled garden over here. Get fucked. Get out of here. Like, this is just the biggest bullshit since then.
So this episode's fuck Sony.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Basically. Yeah.
This is arrogant Sony, 100%. Like, I'm sorry. Take the loss. Take the fucking loss.
I wonder if they might walk this back. They have done that before in similar things in the past, but
I mean, Sony does walk back things, so yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Sure, but does it save? Like, is that? Oh, it's all peachy keen now.
Yeah.
It would actually walk it back completely, maybe.
It would be hilarious if a week or two later they're like, actually, guys, we had the numbered crunchers just do those numbers again, and actually we can sell it for the regular price.
Yeah,
our
we'll
bad.
Be fine.
It's
we'll be fine. We just found that out.
We just forgot to carry that one. It's our bad, guys. I mean, I don't know. This to me, like, and again, I know all companies at the end of the day are there to make money, and they're not your friends and stuff like that. But this to me is just like, I'm spitting in your face because I expect you to like it. It's just what? Like, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. You had the PlayStation 4 generation handed to you on a silver platter, and you can't absorb the temporary cost. Because I mean, let's talk about this. They math out exactly what they expect production to be for the PlayStation 5 in a given year. Like they know they're going to sell between 100 and 150.
They've already signed their agreements and chip manufacturers to produce these. It's already done.
It's already done. So like and the thing is, they know they're going to sell between 100 million and 130 million, something around that. They know that, and they know every year we need to produce this many to hit that figure. So like, you can't tell me that you can't work out the contract where it's like, okay, well this year we'll pay you more, but when costs come down and stuff like that, we're going to pay a little less or something like that. Like, you just can't tell me that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or hell, I mean, like, fucking make it up elsewhere. If you're saying you need to get an extra $50 or an extra $100 profit, increase the price of PlayStation Plus or something else, and stuff like that.
Well,
do it
either
elsewhere.
that or just like.
Oh wait, they did that with their
bundles.
games.
Make your bundles.
Oh my
Be like,
god,
just
they
like-
did that with their video games. I totally forgot. They're charging $70 now. It's weird. Just weird. I don't know.
I mean, the only thing you could do is like, you can force the bundles like they're doing here. Just keep it quiet and just sell bundles.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything.
Exactly.
Just sell your bundles. Yeah.
Do it on both sides. Increase the PS5 with the bundle, like a Horizon bundle. We get you $50 extra here, but then hey, look, guys, PlayStation Plus, it's gonna cost an extra $20 per year. There you go. You get your extra $70 per year plus any game you get. You're getting an extra $10 over the $60.
I think part of this also is they didn't choose the American market to do this, and if they did something like that, they would do it for everyone, and then everyone would be pissed off.
Well, they couldn't do it for America because America is the most price resistant, lucrative market, and I guarantee you that they don't want that competitive disadvantage in America. They don't.
Yeah.
Because
unlike as you were joking, Microsoft could just drop the price of the Xbox if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
imagine if Nintendo drops the Switch price now. They could do that because
Yeah.
their cost is a lot lower. Their manufacturing cost is lower.
So.
No, I'm just saying that there's not. I mean, it's whatever. I'm just I feel like it's this way. This is what they should have done, and this would have been much better. And let me know if I'm wrong here. Hey guys, due to manufacturing cost, the price of the PlayStation 5, it's hard to manufacture at the price we're making it. So what we're going to start doing is selling a value bundle with a system as the system and a controller, an extra controller. And yeah, it's going to be, what's the normal controller price? $40 more?
70.
I don't even know what the controller.
70, 80.
I don't know. So yeah, it's $80 now. So they're going to raise the price of the system, $60 and be like, listen, we're giving you guys a controller as well, because that does not cost them that much money. It's freaking accessory, and that's where they make their most profits is accessories. That's where you make a killing on. And I know that because I used to work in retail, and that was the highest profit margins for a retail store to make was accessories. And so they make a killing on that. They can throw a control, give people value with these increases. Give something for this.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree. And the easiest thing, even past that, because once you add a controller, you're adding more weight, you're adding bigger dimensions and stuff like that. What you have to do is include a slip of paper that has a digital code for Spider-Man, a digital code for Horizon, and a digital code for Last of Us remake, or Last of Us Part 1, whatever they're officially calling it. Be like, hey guys, we're sorry, we're going to have to increase the price, but we're giving you three digital copies of the games. That would be sugar to swallow with the medicine. That's fine. But this straight up just reads, yeah, we know you guys are having a tough time just like everybody else, but give us fucking more money, bitch. It's
yeah. Everything costs more money, and so does our stuff now.
Yeah, I don't know. It reads to me completely tone deaf. It's just
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Like I said, it sounds like something you would say if you were doing the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. We're dropping the price, actually.
Yeah.
That would have been...
Yeah. No, exactly. It's like you said, the first sentence is the global economic environment is challenging that many of you around the world and no doubt experiencing. So, okay, yes, we are experiencing a problem here. Yep. How can you help us? Oh, wait, you're not helping us.
You're not helping us. It's just...
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just I don't know. It's whatever. And it's not for for the players.
Yeah. How can you? Yeah. Exactly.
And
the thing is, to someone like me, this just further disincentivized me to get a PlayStation 5 because, again, first of all, right now I'm not paying an extra $50 for Horizon. I know that's going to be $10 next year or something like that.
Yes.
So it just.
Not that happen.
I mean. Their greatest hits usually go down. What, $20 by next year? I mean, it's not.
I can see a $30, even this Black Friday.
Or they'll just put it on PlayStation, whatever the fucking Game Pass equivalent is. It's gonna be there eventually. It's not worth $50 to me. I'm sorry. Yeah. But looking at that, I'm like, okay, well now I'm just definitely not getting a PlayStation 5 for the future because not only that, it's I know any games they're releasing in the next 8 months or 12 months or we'll just say the ongoing future, it's either still going to be released on the PlayStation 4 or it's coming to PC at some point in time. Yep. I'm not in a rush. So I will play this waiting game for you. You can have maybe my $50 for a Steam copy of Spider-Man 2 or whatever bullshit. But you're not going to get $600+ from me to buy your fucking PlayStation to play this one game. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I agree. All right. I think that's it for this episode. Anything more? Yeah, we got it. We covered it. So that's going to wrap up 610 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. We're also, like, again, we're streaming on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. We do a movie cast, do a Gamecast. Please join us. Following day, we're on YouTube. We move this video right over there so you can watch the replays. We'll see you guys next week. Until then,